Okay, so.
Mis todos tienen cámara en realidad, pero no la prenden.
Uh-huh.
Pero literalmente todos.
Thank you, Pablo. Okay. So, welcome. Right now we are going to start the class, okay? So, welcome to your English class for today. Let's start working right now. I'm going to share my screen. Wait. I'm going to share my screen right now. So, okay. So here is my presentation again. Okay, the last class. But today we are going to look the grammar, okay? Not the vocabulary, we are going to start with the grammar. So the grammar top-notch one, okay? You have to go to the page number 40. Right here on the page number 40, there is and there are. That is the things that we are going to identify. So I'm going to show you the video that I have right here, okay? That is previous review about there is, there are. I know that a lot of you knows about the meaning or how to use there is and there are, okay? But some of you know. So let's look at the video. Let's watch the video that I have right here, okay? Addition below 10. And please pay attention. What is? Oh, can you hear or is too low?
Un poquito bajo, mis.
Okay, wait. Okay, here we go, okay?
There are 2 cats. There is a ball. There's a ball. Your turn. There are 3 dogs. There's a car. There are 2 lions. There are 2 houses. There are 4 pencils. There's a plane. There are 2 dragons. There are 7 apples. There's a rabbit. There are 2 cows. There's a dinosaur.
Okay, so if you see, I'm going to share again if you can verify right now, let's see, where is it? Here. Okay. We are going to use there is and there are. When we are going to use there is, if you can identify by the video that we already watched, we are going to use there is when it's singular, right? There is an apple, for example, the example that I have right here, right? There is an apple. We are going to use is when it's singular, when we are talking about one specific thing. There is. And there are some apples, or there are 3 apples when it's plural, right? When you can identify that are a lot of things, we are going to use there are. Or the things that you can count that are more than 1, right? We use there are. There are, in this case, there are 3 apples.
Aquí lo que estamos viendo ahorita es para la página 41.
So now let's go to the grammar. Yes, let's open. You have to open your book on page number 40, okay? Number 40, right there is the grammar structure. We are going to read it, okay, and identify right there. But these ones are some examples. Grammar, there is, there are, count, and non-count nouns. Anything or nothing. It's in the top-notch book, page number 40. So now let's go to our book, okay? Top-notch book. So go to the top-notch book on page number 40. Do you remember that the last class we already identified the vocabulary, and you have the homework was the thing that you have to did, you're supposed to did is to complete this part. Now we are going to identify and we are going to read about the grammar, okay? About the grammar, and says grammar, there is, there are. With count and no count nouns. Anything and nothing. So let's identify. Use there is. Remember that we use there is with non-count nouns. And singular. Singular is when we have noun, and non-count nouns, I'm going to explain you what they are. Use there are with plural count nouns. For example, there is, this one is a contraction that is there is some milk and an apple in the fridge. There is milk. Why? Because we cannot count the milk. We have a bottle of milk that has 1 bottle of milk are things that you cannot count. You can count, you cannot count, right? Because it's a bottle of milk. So with that, we use there is some milk and apples in the fridge. There isn't, it's a negative, right? There isn't any cheese. In plural, there are some cookies in the kitchen. Why are? Because the cookies you can count, right? They are some cookies in the kitchen. There aren't any banana. And here says, remember, count nouns name things you can count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can count. There are singular or plural. Non-count nouns name things you cannot count. They are not singular or plural. Don't use a, an, or a number with the count noun. Rice, not a rice, right? Only rice. Not rices. Okay? So, I'm going to explain you about the count and the non-count nouns. Here. So, I have right here some examples with count and non-count nouns. For example, if you see right there in the page number 40 that I'm going to open my book to identify, says, remember, says right there, count nouns name things you can count. There are singular or plural. So count nouns are things that you simple count. For example, we have There are 2 hamburgers. There are 2 sandwiches. There are 2 hot dogs, right? There are grapes. There are 2 cherries, or there are cherries. Are things that you can count, okay? There are candies. And non-count are things that you can count because came in a bottle, in a jar, in a plate, in a box, okay? Or in something like that, okay? So bread, there is bread. There is fruit, it's a group or things. Maybe here you can count the fruits, but you are talking about the group of fruit, okay? There is a juice. There is rice, only like that. Soup. For example, if your mom are talking to you, she can tell you, can you please pass me the sugar? She did not tell you, can you please pass me 1 million grains of sugar? No, right? She only she's going to tell you, can you please pass me the sugar? And that's it. The same thing with water, right? There is, because you are not going to count the water, right? It's only a bottle or it's only a jar of water. So non-count are the things that you cannot count, okay? You cannot count. It's a group of things or it's a group that you cannot count. For the count, you use are because you can count it. So let's go again to the page, okay, to the book. Now to the book page. Where is it? Here. Let's continue with the grammar. And says right here, in question, how we are going to use in question. Is there any or some pasta? Are there any or some noodles? What kind of fruit is there in this fruit salad? How many eggs are there in the fridge? Use is there with anything or nothing. Okay, let's stop right there. We're going to continue with nothing or anything later, okay? Let's work with the exercise that we have right here, okay? And says, grammar practice. Complete each statement or question with an affirmative or negative form of there is or there are, okay? So work with your pencil. Then we are going to check the answers, okay? So let me see what we have right here. I'm just starting the magic start. Extra work. Okay. We're going to work later with this. Okay, so some fish in the fridge, onions in the salad, some cheese for my sandwich, any apple pie at the store, some orange juice from your breakfast, anything in the fridge, anything to eat in this house, any pasta for tonight dinner, okay? So I'm going to give you 1 minute to complete this one with your pencil. Don't worry if you make any mistake when I ask you, because you are learning. We are going to make a lot of exercises using there is and there are, okay? So please remember that you don't worry if you do not have your camera on, but you have to participate. If you do not participate, you're not going to...
La primera creo que es there is.
There is? Let me think. Some fish, yes. The first one, thank you. We are going to do it together. Thank you for the answer. The first one is there is. Why?
Who is there?
We cannot count. It's a group of fish. We do not tell the fishes. Fish is like that. So yes, the number one, there. Sorry for my letter, okay?
No escriba mis.
There is, okay? Number one, there is. Do you know what we are going to do? I'm going to reflect something.
Es
Yep.
que eso estaba en la anterior presentación donde estaban todas las comidas.
Yeah.
O sea,
Yellow, you have to write there is, okay? And with green, you have to write there are, okay? So you tell me that the first one is there is, right? There is. Number two, onions in the salad. There is or there are?
le combinó el color, mis.
Yes.
They are.
Okay, it changed the color, but you know that is this one. So next one, there is or there are? Number two.
There are.
There are, excellent. Number three. It's a question, right? So, is there some cheese or are there some cheese? One cheese. We are talking about one cheese.
Is there?
Is there, right? Is there? Is there? Next one. Any apple pie?
There are.
They are.
Number five. Some
Creo
orange,
que también es there are.
some orange juice from the
There is.
It's a bottle of juice. There is or there are?
There is.
There is because we are talking about a bottle or a jar or a blade or a glass, sorry, or a glass of orange juice, right? So this one is there is, right? There is. There is. Anything in the fridge. It's in the fridge, right? En la refrigeradora, in the fridge. In general, there is or there are? What do you think?
There are.
There
There
are.
are.
Yes, there are. Excellent, because we are talking about the group, right? There are. Anything to eat. Specific, eat.
There are.
There are.
Okay. Any pasta. We are talking about pasta. There is or there
No
are?
estaba en there are. There are.
Yes, but if we eat one, it could be, but we are talking about pasta. In this case, they identify like spaghetti. There is or there are? In this case, it's the same thing for fish, okay? There is, there is. Okay, so then says conversation model. Let's read the conversation model, okay? And let's work with that. It's on the part, this part, conversation model, okay? Listen.
Read and listen to someone asking for a restaurant recommendation.
Could you recommend a restaurant for this evening?
Bajar un poquito volumen.
What are you in the mood
Okay,
for?
wait.
I don't know. Maybe a sandwich.
Actually, there's a great place nearby. It's called Tom's.
Would you like directions? I'm going to play again, okay?
Read and listen to someone asking for a restaurant recommendation.
Could you recommend a restaurant for this evening?
Sure. What are you in the mood for?
I don't know. Maybe a sandwich. I'm not very hungry.
Actually, there's a great place nearby. It's called Tom's. Would you like directions?
Okay. He's asking about a restaurant, right? It says, degrees of hungry, not very hungry, that I am not hungry, not very hungry. I am hungry, but not a lot, really hungry. You have a lot, you want to eat a lot, serving. Listen.
Listen and repeat in the pauses.
Not very hungry.
Really hungry.
Starving.
Starving, right? When you are so hungry. Okay. Listen again and repeat. Okay. Conversation action. This part says we are going to work all together, ask for a restaurant recommendation. But first, let's watch the video, okay? This one is a video that we have right here to work on it.
Let's change the conversation model.
Could you recommend a restaurant for lunch?
Certainly. What are you in the mood for?
I don't know, maybe a salad? I'm not very hungry.
Actually, there's a great place nearby. It's called Roberto's. Would you like directions?
Let's change the conversation model again. Don't stop. Give directions to the restaurant. Say as much as you can.
Could you recommend a restaurant for dinner tonight?
Yes, I can. What are you in the mood for?
I don't know. Maybe some pasta?
Actually, there's a great place nearby. It's called Pasta Palace. Would you like directions?
Yes, thanks.
We're here on Pike Street. Leave the hotel and turn left. Pasta Palace is down the street on the left. It's between Lincoln Street and Taylor Street.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, so that one is a way that you can make the conversation, okay? So let me see one more thing here. I'm going to pass list right now, okay? Because I know that all of you are here, so I'm going to pass list right now. You're 27 and you are 30, so we miss 27 with me. So we miss some of you, so I need to identify who is here and who is not here. Let me see. Wait. So here is. Please answer if you are here, okay? Álvarez, Jonathan,
Presente.
okay. Arredondo. He never connect, right?
Presente. Present.
You are here, Arredondo?
Yes.
Okay. Barrientos, David.
Presente.
Cabrera, Diego. Diego Cabrera.
Presente.
Alan. Okay, thank you, Alan. Chacón, Juan.
Present.
Diego Chamalé.
Presente.
Thank you, Walter Díaz. Present. Okay, here means or hello or present means. Remember that we are in English class and you have to speak in English. Okay, Joseph Escobar.
Presente.
Luis García.
Present.
Okay, Sebastián González.
Present.
Príncipe.
Presente.
Oscar.
Presente.
Pablo Lobos. Pablo. Jorge.
Hernán, ¿dónde está, mis?
Jorge.
Present.
Santiago.
Present.
José Marroquín.
Present.
Otto Mayen. Otto. No. Andrés.
Presente.
Okay. Diego. Diego Morales. Obregón. Marcos.
Present.
Pablo Obregón. Pablo. Jensi. Wesley.
Present.
Okay. Diego Ponce. Santiago.
Present.
Thank you. Luis Roldán.
Present.
Johan. Pablo.
Presente.
Diego.
Presente.
José. And Steven. Steven.
Present.
And Bielman. Bielman? No. Okay. So, okay. So now let's continue, okay, with the next page. So I don't know if you have any question or any, let's review the there is and there are, okay, thing. In next class, we are going to make, that I told you, we are going to work on my What a Life book, and after that, we are going to play something about there is, there are, and the vocabulary for this unit, okay? So if you have any question, it's time to tell me the question. We finish the part of the book using the book, right? Of the guide. So we finished with the guide number 1. So using the What a Life book, okay? So I'm going to show you right now, okay, some extra exercises that we can work on it using there is and there are.
Teacher, ¿y qué pasa si no tenemos el What a Life book?
If you don't have the What a Life book, but it's because you don't find it or you don't find it. Why you don't have the What a Life book?
No me lo compraron. I don't have the What a Life book.
Porque no hay. Okay, in that case, I'm going to ask what happened, okay? That is why we are going to work here, the What a Life book, so you can follow and you can make the activities with me, okay? At the next class. Okay. So.
Miss, yo tampoco tengo el What a Life book, pero lo que pasa es de que yo lo compré y me dieron como una cosa para ir a traerlo, pero no me han llamado aún para ir a traerlo.
Okay, don't worry. For that, we are going to work all together with the What a Life book, okay?
Okay.
Now, when you have it, so you start working, okay? With your book. If you don't have it, okay, don't worry if you don't have it, okay? For now, you don't worry if you don't have it, okay? Okay. Let me see. So let's change the page. Let's go to the other page. Right now, one more thing, let me see. Here is that we have extra work with this one. There is, there are with count and non-count nouns. Anything and nothing. Classify the nouns. Write C for the count nouns and write NC from the nouns, non-count nouns, okay? So, this one we have right here. Apple, banana, beef, bread, broccoli, bottle, candy, and candy, carrots, cheese, chicken, clam, cookies, and fish. So I'm going to ask some of you. We have only 5 minutes right now, and with that we are going to finish. This same exercise, I'm going to put it on a Kahoot, okay? So with that, you can add your correct answer and I can identify if you understand or not, okay? So let me see. Let me see. Matias Cabrera. The first one, apple. What do you think? Is it count or non-count? C or NC? Count or not count?
Sí.
Count, right? Because it's one apple and you can count. C. Next one. Andres Morales, banana. Count or not count? C or NC? What do you think, Andres?
Miss, me llamó para algo, es que no le oí muy bien.
Yes, that if you think that bananas you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can count the bananas or you can't count the bananas. That's one banana. You can count the banana or you cannot count the banana.
Entiendo.
¿Puedes contar las bananas o no puedes contar las bananas? Is it count or not count?
Ah, no. No.
You can count the bananas. In this case, it's C. Don't worry, we are going to still practice, okay? Beef. Juan Carlos, Chacón, you can count or you can count the beef, the group.
NS.
See me? Yes.
You can count, it depends of you. Count or not count.
Que si es C o NC.
C or NC?
NC, Miss?
NC. If it's the group, like the fruits, it's the group complete the fruit. So in this case, it's NC, right? Bread, not a specific bread, the group of bread. Count or not count? It's the same of beef. What do you think? Luis Garcia, what do you think?
Pues, para mí sería NC, porque es pan, o sea.
It's a group, right? For that is NC. Broccoli, specific fruit, broccoli. Count or not count? What do you think? Jonathan Alvarez.
Sí.
Sí, excellent. Thank you, Alejandro. Okay. From this one, we are going to practice on the next class, okay? I'm going to get Kahoot, okay? And we are going to continue the next class.
Okay.
If you don't have, thank you. If you don't have any questions, okay? You can disconnect yourself and prepare yourself for the next class. If you have any questions, you can tell me your question right now. If not, see you in the next class and have a wonderful day, okay?
Okay, teacher, bye.
Bye, teacher.
Bye.
Bye, teacher. Feliz día.
Have a wonderful day.
Teacher,
Yes.
I have a question. En la guía 1, ¿qué hay que hacer? Hay que grabar un audio. ¿Qué era lo que hay que hacer?